Hi, Mike Hughes here. So very excited to give this live webcast, all right? So we're going live right now. Today's topic is drills. I want to go over drills and the drills concepts. We're going to touch a few areas. I know it's a broad concept. We're going to talk about safety. We're going to hit a few things. One thing we're not going to talk about today is drills from the deck, okay? Drills from the ground. I'm going to talk to my friend Gary Drake on that, I think, later on, because there's a lot to do from the ground, how to get up from the ground, shooting from the ground, high angle, not hitting your elbows, shrimping, and all that. So that's a future thing which we will tackle. So let's start real quick just on some safety protocols, all right, as always. So with safety, you can see here, we already did a check, so I have my SIRT pistol, all right, SIRT, got SIRT mags, nothing on me, no one in the crew here behind us, anyone in our area, we're good, no live ammo, all right, I've already done the check, the self-check, buddy check, all that. We have kind of closed areas right here, we have like two entrance points and a garage port here, so we're good on that, there's no distractions. I mean, this isn't a through port, so it's a good place to train, and we're doing a video, but obviously we're training, all right? So it's a good place to train, so it's good to just categorically always set that in play. All right. So that is a little bit on safety. We want to talk real quick whenever we talk about drills. We want to talk about, I like this term, uncalibrated, all right? Uncalibrated training. And what do we mean by that? We always mean unwarmed up. You're cold, you're fresh, you're in a state of, you don't have to call it a warm-up decrement, all right? You can test your skills, all right, when you're unwarmed up, uncalibrated, and you can build upon it. So like when you're just totally cold, you can, perform, all right, without any impediment there. So that's a concept, all right? And after I do some reps through there, I'm going to be calibrating, I'm going to be warmed up, I'll do better. So that's why, of course, a lot of these drills, what we suggest protocol, space them out, right? Space them out like throughout the day, low barrier to entry, quick safety check, put your live fire stuff away, get a drill, and we're off. Okay, so let's just clear this real quick. Let's just go ahead and do a first drill. Let's just jump into it, right? And then I'm going to talk about it a little bit in depth thereafter. So this is going to be simple. I'm just going to use this filing cabinet as cover, a barricade. That's more concealment really. I'm going to take a knee with high leg out and just shoot a kind of a medium target there on the wall. Okay, ready. So I come down, and all right, boom. Nothing else needs to get shot, and then I reholster. Okay, great. That is a drill, all right? I want to take that as an example and talk about it here at length, all right? So here we go. Let's look at this drill that was very basic and break it down. Let's just call this a presentation to shot, all right? So there's more to the draw, right? I call it like an intermediate drill. Not really, you could say it's advanced. I don't know if it's advanced. It's beyond an NRA basic class, but it lives in there as something I think everyone who carries a pistol concealed should train, okay? We can agree with that. All right, so I clear garment, I get purchase, thumb over, pop thumb, finger off trigger, right? As you can see in the close here, yep, finger off trigger, right? And then a step, my hand on, let go, present out, prep. I got my take-up laser on here, so prep, extend, and break the shot, okay? No one's behind that camera, right? And I'm using SIRT pistols, no force on force today. So that is, how can we expand that drill into something else? Well, what I did right here, I had movement. Let's not talk about movement. Let's talk about just compromised shooting positions. Way too often we just, we do this. We draw, we shoot, and just do the range stance, right? Well, how about just draw outside knee up, okay, and cook off a round, okay? Or clear garment, draw, and as you do this, it's important because your body dynamics, everything's a little bit different. Okay, I go outside knee up and cook off around. Just so you know, real quick, reason I go outside knee up is because you don't want this outside knee down, because one, it's it's just exposed a little bit, femoral artery and stuff, and two, your support system. So just just go outside knee up, just so you're less likely to go out into this area, and you just got more stuff here that can collect lead in the event if that were to happen. All right, so it's three positions. So what have we just done? Let's kind of look up here real quick. So we basically have three positions. So what do we do? I have this little block thing here, right? So we have, get myself orientated here. So we essentially have three variants of the drill right away. Okay, standing, which is a default. We do too much, honestly. Kneeling, and then kneeling. All right, not a big deal, but you'll see where I'm going with this in a second. It's just a way to approach drills and expand our skill sets, okay? Let's talk about movement real quick. So clear this up. Now with movement, I like to take a page out of Seeklander's book and think about movement like the clock. Okay, if you look, he has some good stuff on performance and practicality drills. I like his material. But one of them is I kind of pulled from is the clocks. You have like 12 o'clock, right? I got 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock from my perspective. And you just kind of lay it on the ground. And it's just a rough guide to go in different directions, all right? 12 directions, thereabouts. So what if we just incorporate those 3 positions just with movement, all right? So let's go ahead and look at our blocks here. So essentially all I'm doing on this is thinking, okay, well, what if we just have 12 movements, all right, with 3 positions? Whoop, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, 12 movements with 3 positions. Well, how many drills do we have now? Or variants, I should say, okay? Because I could go forward, draw, and just go standing, right? That would probably be forward movement, one of those conceptual blocks, right? I can go forward, or maybe like 2 o'clock like I did before, take a knee, and then present out there, and then left, right, retreat, however you want to do that, all right? Come, like kneeling, come around, and then rip off some shots. And as you do those different variants, deficiencies naturally expose, right? All too often we get caught on working on our strengths. We got to work on our areas which require strengthening, which are our deficiencies, all right? So that's just, you can see like 3 times 12, we kind of, 36 variants of a drill already. Do you have to do all 36? I'll get to that in a second, all right? Because just bear with me on this visual. Let's go a little bit further on this, just a little bit further. Let's think about another axis here, okay, another dimension to throw in. And I ask you all, let's see if I have any questions here. I ask you all, and by the way, I'm trying to make this a little more interactive. So if you want to ask questions, I can see them, all right, and respond. So please do that. I'm queued up. I get kind of tunnel vision in here and just locked into the unilateral communication too much here. So anyhow, if you're to think, and this is rhetorical, right? Let's you throw it on the screen. What would the next dimension be? What would the next aspect to change in a drill? Okay, and prioritize it. So you got to think, like, would it be? There's a lot I can think of, right? There's low light, right? There's maybe there's more compromised shooting positions you can pull out of shooting from the deck, as I talked about before. So one thing that comes to my mind is a lot of importance of variance is target distance and difficulty. All right, that has to be changed up, I would say, a lot, all right, within drills. So let's just give 3 different types of targets. We have a very close target. So if you kind of look on the side here, like the bob bag, which I'm sort of in a side shot here, he's relatively close, all right? So that's kind of a torso shot there, or if he's looking away, then it's good for instant incapacitation, okay? So there's close, and there's close from those positions. Then there's probably intermediate, and they're far. And far, obviously, we all know, right? It's a lot of sights, front sight, sight picture, lined up, a lot of trigger control, cook it off, right? Poof, and make sure you get those longer controlled shots. Why is that relevant in a drill such as this? Well, one reason that's kind of relevant is let's just say I'm going to shoot this target right here using this, really as concealment. All right. Well, we do put sandbags in there for other things, so it is cover. But in practical purpose around it'd be more concealment. But if I'm going, like, say, real close, okay, we can go maybe wide on this one too, looky. So if I'm really going to come in on this right here, I kind of come around, and of course I'm putting some context in here a little bit with this direction, but if we're to play that back in slow-mo, I'm not getting super stable on that, okay? I'm not getting super stable on that, all right? In fact, I don't even know if I got to watch the replay. I don't know if I put, the right knee down. I think I hit, but it doesn't matter. Like, I do it at speed and I analyze the deficiencies, okay? So the distance is very, very dependent, because if I go to a farther target, and I'll even go further, I'll just shoot the upper NLT of that circle, way down there. If I come in here like this and come up, then I prep, boom, and cook off that shot. All right? A lot more stability. It's not just sights and trigger controls, a lot more stability. Point being on this is, by changing the target distance, what do we have here? We have a lot, okay? 3 times 3 times 12, carry the semicolon, but I got 108, okay, variations, right? So let's just pause and just talk about this more conceptually for a second, all right? you may be thinking, God, are you saying that I got to go through all of these, variations? Like, just cook through them like 108. Like, oh my God, it's kind of a lot. That's not really the point. You don't have to think too type A about it. I think the way to approach this, just kind of conceptually, is look at this volume we have in front of us here. Okay, like this. Yeah, there we go. And try to make sure you at least touch the corners of it in the middle parts, like fill it out, okay? Meaning like maybe you run to the right, and do a compromised shooting position, you run to the left. You don't necessarily do every clock position. You don't do all that, right? You see what I'm saying though? But you're getting out of your comfort zone. You're getting out of your, just working on what's comfortable for you or just what you know, okay? It's sort of pulling you out. And this is just more conceptual, so you can just think about it. That's why I put it like this, and you can kind of see the vastness of it. But it's obvious it's much more than 3. Now, if you want to put, another dimension, you got to think 4th dimensionally, Marty. All right, then you can think, okay, what about low light? All right, so you maybe say yes or no, so you can just double this, or maybe some of you think 4th dimensionally, I don't know. But anyhow, so obviously there's a lot of factors, and if you keep splitting up those factors and making that happen, then ultimately we get reality, okay? Which is a good thing. So we just gotta, as much as some tech giants want to avoid reality and what have you, I think we want to live in it. So we want to prepare for what we can, the highest probability things. So anyways, that's just kind of a concept I wanted to start off with here. All right, as we proceed through this a little bit. So I'm going to talk about a few things. How much time we have on here? We went. How much time we've got here? 13 minutes already? Wow. Okay, I want to keep this about half hour high and tight. With regard to areas to train, always think about manipulation. Like we'll talk about reloads and stuff, but I always break it down into manipulation, and then that sort of first shot, and then with that, then acceptable accuracy. All right. Those are some quadrants so there's so much in manipulation. I mean, just of course with trigger finger discipline, right? So as you know, just looking closer, just keep the finger off the trigger until ready to shoot, right? And if you train with buddies and such like that, make sure you check that. So movement, or of course, just any kind of draws, any kind of, we talk about in a second here, reloads, anything like that. Manipulate. It's not, we don't get it enough. The range, remember I've said this before, is you have to work only on the range. You can only work on you can't work off the range, I should say. Venn diagram this. You can't work off the range. Recoil management has to be worked on the range, all right? Has to be worked on the range. Slide lock stimulus, okay? And then malfunction, recognition, and clearance, right? So you definitely want to get those elements worked on the range, all right? Integrated with these other drills the best you can. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to just a simple drill. I think this is getting more and more relevant. I used to think it was just more competition, but just a notion of target transitions, all right? I think a great resource to pick your drills is look at some of John Correa's work on active self-protection. There's a lot of scenarios, there's a lot of material there, and it's messy, and it's life. It's security camera footage of actual critical incidents, as Rob said. So, it seems like, the more I watch it, I think like, God, target transitions is more of a thing, like here, okay? And I've heard that from some guys in group and stuff, but I really think that's the reality. So you probably already know this. I'm going to do this off camera at first. I got a target here, I got a target here, okay, facing this camera. So I come out, again, I can integrate the last drill. I come out, present, boom, one shot, two shot, whatever. Now here's the trick right here, okay? We all know this, but let's really talk about this. The eyes and then the gun. The only thing about transitions I like to wedge in here, sometimes it's taught like your eyes go first and then the gun. That's not really totally correct sequencing. They both go at the same time, all right, for speed. But if I were to replay this in slow-mo, okay, in fact, let me go on the extreme close-up camera here. I'll just kneel down, Lukey. Okay, so going close-up. Okay, so if I'm gonna go slow-mo, so if I'm presented out here, okay, my eyes and gun go at the same time. It's just that my eyes should be quicker, if that makes sense, all right? So like, it's, boom, it all should happen really quick when you really start sequencing it, but it's not like eyes, then gun. It's not these blocky steps. That's one thing I don't like about institutional training. Like it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 20-step draw or whatever. Everything should be fluid, right? We should always drive towards that fluidity. So eventually it's boom, boom, all right, boom. Okay, and then the two things on transitions on that, of course, is I think there's just two aspects of either going where there's no shoots in between and no shoots, all right, which is very contextually sensitive. But of course, like if it's just two targets, like bop, 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 and running and all that stuff, intermixed with it, it's a little different if it's like bop, bop, and then bop, bop. Okay, finger off trigger, represent, to like a high ready or what have you, and represent. So I would train both of those just as drills. All right. Just gonna do a reality check here for any questions. If you have any questions on this, folks, please let's take advantage of this semi engagement, right? I can't see you. It's kind of, but please fire off a question. Next thing, let's fire off the next one. So this is another quick drill. You know what? Let me stop. Let me go back one with transitions real quick, okay? One thing with transitions is, I think is very important, is to do it again, like adding a dimension to it, right? Probably two. You can have different widths and then different distances for target difficulty. So these two bobs right here, I don't know if you can see, let's see them right here, this white camera. These two bobs right here, let's integrate it a little bit. Let's just have some movement. So it's like right here, pop, 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 pop. All right, okay, pretty close. My eyes and my, everything is like running as pretty much as fast as it can. I'm using a lot of natural point of aim. So my body might even be outrunning my eyes on that one. But if I have a little bit wider, and let's just say it's wider and it's that target down there and right here, okay? So heck, let's do another integrated draw. I'm gonna do a stealth draw. Okay, so the context here, looking from the side, is I got this guy, all right? So I'm gonna kind of do a stealth draw, all right? Come out, boom, and then come right here, boom, boom, all right? That's just another like drill off a transition, right? So I'm actually using the bob bag, which I do love at Targets from Sentry, just for some 3D context here, okay? Again, you're looking at different things. I think there's context of a stealth draw coupled with instant incapacitation in something like this, right? With a quick presentation, a quick break, all right, and all that. But you don't have that energy coming towards you, like an 88 Tactical mentions as far as the sudden high intensity threat factor, all right? So it's a little bit different mindset for your mechanics there, okay? That's Trevor Thrasher, if you ever search him for sudden high intensity threat factors, because someone facing you is a lot different than this, beyond the distance and accuracy. So interesting point just to put in right there. All right, closed eyes. I want to hammer through this a bit here, because I'd like to keep this about a half hour, just so we don't, I just want to take too much of your time. So this is a fun drill, okay? And it's something that's mainly pretty much SIRT, all right? So with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the camera again as a target, or just right behind it actually. I'll use the camera itself as a target, all right? Blow out the sensor. So what I'm going to do is I'll just run the drill. So I draw, I'm going to close my eyes, present, prep, and cook off around, open my eyes. Okay, I'm low left. Okay, I got to be up here, I'm down here. Okay, I'm a little bit low left, all right? The only difference, the tricky thing on this drill is you got to pin the trigger. Okay, you got to pin the trigger back and open your eyes and see where it's at. Now, you say, well, it's a training score. Now, look, in a lot of this stuff too, I mean, if we do 5%, 2%, that's not going to be a training scar. If you did it all the time, yeah, I get it, all right? Let's not be training scar Nazis, like, oh, everything's, it's a drill, all right? It's a drill. It's a natural point of aim drill. If you really want to think about it, it's kind of like the Blind Fury, Rutger Hauer movie. Take away a sense and you have other senses. It's sort of a, kung fu movies like, or, Luke Skywalker use the Force a little bit. So, but it works kind of. So you close your eyes, okay? Like I align my sternum, I close my eyes, cook off around, and, I was a little bit low right, okay? And I'll do it from static, but I can certainly do it from, a little bit. Actually, I did a blindfold shot on Top Shot. Jerry Micklick was training us, and yeah, so a little bit had some stupid application there. All right, but the point being on this is it's kind of a pure natural point of aim drill. Okay, pure natural point of aim. One thing to do if you're off, you never adjust your wrist or anything. What I would suggest is focus on your sternum, your breastplate, of sort of a realignment on that. Okay, and then if your grip's clearly off, like in your established, like go close there, like if we have like a really good, established grip, and you just know it, right? Just from the curvature on the back here and what have you, that, you're good to go. But if you fix your grip, if your grip establishment wasn't correct, you can see our grip courses on that. But if that's okay, then don't don't do this bit. Like adjust your whole turret, like the whole Abrams tank, okay? And an extension of this drill is a little bit of movement. So I'm going to get in position, and at some point in there, like close my eyes when I'm fixed on, and then have an awareness of the alignment of the sternum and extend out, right? So I'm going to close my eyes, extend out. Oh shit, that was like almost right there, okay? I had an awareness of my sternum, and that just makes my natural point of aim. Kind of builds it into your sequencing process, okay? It's good, it's good. All right, okay, this is kind of basic, and this is really something you can do with any drill, is integrate the mag change. All right, I like to do it from awkward shooting position. So if I'm like one position like to another position, I don't even need an apparatus for that. It's nice to have one sometimes, but if I kind of come out, bop, 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 and then, bop, 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 bop. All right, obviously I'm doing speed mag changes. It'd be very contextual if it was slide lock and what have you on that. The main thing I like to work on with mag changes, just if you know, is in fact I'll go close right here, looky. Get down at this level. All right. So what I like to do is have awareness right here, all right, and then awareness right here, my finger. So I grab it from sometimes front pocket too, come up, and then just complete the magazine. Also, this is kind of realistic because with this is our 115C, by the way, our new SIRT. I don't know if you have all seen this or not yet. We haven't really done a hard launch on it, but let me finish this and I'll talk about it. But essentially, if I carry from this or front pocket, I just bring them together, boom, reestablish grip, and we're off. So it's a drill, but it's also something that definitely to integrate. Question is, how much do you have to do mag changes? I think it's a good skill, definitely to work on. But I guess while I'm down here, let's talk about the 115C. So yeah, essentially, this is our new model. It's pretty cool. You can let me grab the magazine real quick. My drop magazine. This has a DHS toe extension specific for their requirements, but essentially this was kind of neat too. Is in the back here we have this. So if y'all are SIRT owners, the 1.5 millimeter hex to adjust the lasers. It's right integrated in the grip. Okay, it's really neat. And also, like our 107, which has that functional features of the M&P, you can adjust how when the trigger up laser is activated. So you can have it so first touch or full prep. All right, so if you're doing some drills, if they just feather the trigger, like you turn the lights off in your class or something, with SIRTs and all that, and you see who's doing this bit, right? So you can adjust that sensitivity right here on top. Pretty cool. I'm really pleased with these 115s. They just came out they're really beautiful. They're awesome, and we make them right here in Ferndale. Right over. In fact, we'll do maybe a factory tour on one of these if people want to do that. So, yeah. Okay, Tom Meyer. I knew it was different than the 110. Yeah, this is a C, so it's similar, except it's compact. It's like Glock 19. Okay, functional features thereof. So yeah, that's good. Any questions? Good. All right. So, like I said, I want to keep this about half hour, but what do we got here? About 5 minutes. Okay. All right. STIC. Okay. So, drilling with the AR. This is fun. Now, I just don't claim to be a quote rifle. I mean, I think not everyone's a rifle guy, but it's a lot more forgiving tool than pistol. I think we can agree. Well, our STIC, man. What's really fun about this is kind of making rifle training, fun again, I guess. What's really neat is just basic drills, right? Of safety manipulation, sling manipulation, our offset and what have you. It's essentially, I don't know if y'all seen this. I don't want to make this like a plug. I'm just talking about rifle drills, but coming down here. So if you haven't seen this, if you already own SIRTs like in a class and you want to do a rifle course, all right, which I highly recommend, if you all just do a basic AR course, manipulation and such, you basically take your pistol, right, any 110s or the 115s, all right, our new ones I just showed you, slide it in, pop it up, lock it in, and you've just converted this to a, get it on there, yeah, to a rifle. You can extend this back and forth. So if you to your length of your rifle, bailing around corners and stuff to make sure you're not flagging, your equipment and everything, doing partner training stuff. A lot of drills with this. So essentially, make sure I'm not hitting my mic here, Lukey. But some of the drills with this and just gun up, safety down. Oh yeah, it's another cool thing on this too. Let me show you real quick. Again, I didn't mean to make this a product demo, folks, but this is just so exciting. So if you see right here, up close, the safety is actually functional. So when you push it, it actually has a little surface here to pull this out of the way, so it you can pull the trigger. All right. Then if it's gun up, gun down, safety up, then you can't pull the trigger. So it's a mechanical switch. All right, to actually work. The safety's a little bit stiff. We're working on that right now. If anyone has a stick, but anyways. And then we got sling mounts here and adjustable mount, and yeah. We don't come with an optic, but we have a SIG Romeo on there. We kind of like those are pretty reasonable and such. Or if you have an old optic, which you don't trust, handling recoil, it's good. The Picatinny rail is pretty nice too. Yeah, adjust the length of the barrel, tighten it down. Yeah, you can't do mag changes at drop, but you can do mag inserts. This, but you don't drop them, so that's a limitation. But I mean, for $200, I mean, good grief. So, but anyways, the drills on this, again, working your offset, right? If you don't know what that is, definitely just research that. So an up close target right here, I'm definitely gonna have to aim pretty high on it, all right? Like the dot through the optic has to be a lot higher. Safety manipulation, sling manipulation, the whole works. Okay, let's finish this off. I want to show you just a resource. Been meaning to do this for a while here. Let's roll like this carefully. I am going to reposition. All right. Okay, got it, Lukey. All right, I'm still here. All right. Okay, here we go. Nice. So, what do we have here? We have our other site. I don't know if you're all aware of this, but I made another e-learning site. Okay, it's SIRT Living. All right, SIRT Living, L-I-V-I-N-G. Okay, sirtliving.com, and we just put some courses on there. One of them we put on. This is for free. All right. One of the issues we've seen with instructors, and I don't mean issues bad. I just mean like areas which require strengthening or business opportunities and such, is put on a second class. It's have so many instructors have this resource. You have a list, you have students, you have rapport, and they got their CCW and they took their NRA basic or their USCCA class, but you can I'd say about up to 20%. It'd be hard to get beyond that, but there's about 1/5, maybe 1/10, 1/5 that are dedicated. They'll take a class, right? And it could be a low light class. It can be a second. I mean, there's so many. There could be a compromised shooting class, like drill based, 2 hours, high and tight, have 5 SIRTs and just rotate it through. But we went ahead and made one, like a train the trainer course, and it's free. You know what I mean? It's just, we probably should charge it so maybe it gets more traffic, but it's free for you. And essentially, if you look over here behind me. And again, if you go sirtliving.com, applied fundamentals, you might have to log in a little bit. If you have issues with that, let customer service know. But you can see, essentially, we got this table of contents over here. All right, going through different modules. Nice little video explaining, I don't know what I'm on right now, like sight alignment, natural point of aim, what have you. Just some downloads, a transcript of the yada, yada, yada BS I say, and all that. And also, I got another little point here too, which is kind of neat. Like, I don't know about you all, but whenever I do a training, or particularly if I coach, like football, basketball, whatever, like some sports, I got to see it, the drill. I can't just look at a piece of. I really want to see how's that executed. Like, where were things? What was the verbiage? So, what I did is we did a course, and it was I think about 15 folks, and it was just me. So that's a 1 to 15. I think Brett helped, so it was by 2 to 7.5 ratio, 1 to 7.5 ratio. And you just see it, like, okay, how do I line them up? Here's L shape, what target's on the wall? What was it, the flow from one section to another, right? So, there's actually, you can see right here, there's just an actual video of giving the course. I'm not saying it's great or anything, but it just gives you an idea of actual just implementing. But again, don't take it as the gospel. Bastardize it, or make it your own, right? Just use it as a template. To have a follow-on course, right? A drill-based follow-on course, right? It can be shorter. You can charge $50, get 10 people, right? $500 just in a small little area like we have here in our dojo. It's awesome. 5 SIRTs, and people can share, or you can, Anyways, it's exciting. I think there's huge opportunity, my friends, to utilize your list and have some curriculum. Pump out an email to them, set a time, boom. Have at it. So I'm actually gonna close off there. Actually, I'll go over here, see if there's any final questions. I know we got a little bit of a lag here. Shorter. Oh, is Tom Meyer telling me to be shorter? What's going on, Tom? What's going on here, buddy? No, I think he's talking about the 110. Yeah, it's a compact model there. Compact indeed. So we'll cut it off there. I think we're not going to do anything through December here, but January, I don't know if SHOT Show's on or not. Hope you all can make there if you're doing that. And yeah, and we'll have some more content. We're going to do some content here from the range with the Elon Musk satellite system probably in the spring. Kind of excited on that. So with that, I'm going to call it good. So y'all have a great holidays and stay safe and a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you later.